I'll be the first to admit that buying a house is one of the most exciting things in a lot of people's lives. But if you're not careful and if you don't know these things, buying that new home could turn from excitement to a nightmare very, very quickly. So let's get to it and talk about 4 things that you need to know about. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. This is the #1 and original Living in Galveston, Texas channel. My team and I work diligently to put out content you want to see. So if you're looking to make a move to Galveston, or you just want to know more about real estate in Galveston or the hidden cost of new home ownership, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button, click that little bell, and you'll never miss another video episode. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I love real estate and Galveston Bay. And today, we are diving into the hidden cost of home ownership. Home buying is a worldwide obsession and a rite of passage for many of us. Home ownership helps build wealth and stability for you and your family. I'll be the first to admit that buying a house is one of the most exciting things in a lot of people's lives. Whether you're a first-time new home buyer or your first time to experience buying a home, period, I think it can be even more exciting is buying a brand new home, not a resale home, a brand new home that no one has ever lived in. It's going to be new with that new house smell. But if you're not careful and if you don't know these things, buying that new home could turn from excitement to a nightmare very, very quickly. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go through a few things that you're probably not even aware of. If you don't know these things, you might find yourself in big trouble. So let's get to it and talk about 4 things that you need to know about. Hidden cost of home ownership when it comes to the new construction home. When it comes to new construction homes, who doesn't love shiny and new? It's like a new car. You know, no one's lived in it before. I love selling new construction and I love helping families find their dream homes. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them below or reach out to me directly. I would love to represent you and your new home purchase. Reach out, let's connect, and get the process started. Here's the thing, if you don't know these things, it's really going to cost you a ton of money, right? #1, property taxes. So my #1 hidden cost that people don't realize when it comes to new construction, home ownership, really home ownership in general, is property taxes. So if you're new to Texas, or if you're just kind of new to real estate in general, we are a property tax state. Here in Texas, we don't have a state income tax, which is really awesome, but we do pay property taxes. If you're not aware of that, you'll realize very quickly how expensive these taxes are. So here in the Galveston County area, we're going to see property tax rates sit somewhere between 1.9 and 3.4% of the assessed value of the home. I got to tell you, that's a lot of money. So if you're financing, your lender may require you to have an escrow account. Now you're going to contribute each month and the lender or the servicer will pay the taxes when they're due and payable. So your property tax escrow could be $600 or $900 a month. It's really exciting to think we bought this beautiful house, but you also need to know that it has an assessed value of, let's say, $400,000, and you're paying 2.6% property tax rate. Start doing that math, and very quickly that number is going to add up. Oh my God, what were we thinking? You really can't avoid property taxes here in Texas, but there are ways to alleviate them with a homestead exemption. Now you want to make sure that you file this when you close to take full advantage of this exemption. Over 65 exemption is when you turn 65, there's another exemption. It gets you about 25% off your assessed value. And next, the disabled veteran. If you served in the military and you have some percentage of disability, there's an exemption for you available based on the percentage of your disability. For the most part, you're probably going to have to pay those property taxes. Now, it's especially important to factor in property taxes into your monthly payment. Now, if you're buying in a new construction community or in a suburb, there's a very good chance that you're either going to have a MUD or a PID. Now, these are basically infrastructure taxes. The developers set up a MUD or a PID to sell bonds to build the infrastructure, water, sewer, road, and utilities. So this is another hidden property tax. There is nothing worse than sticker shock. When you buy a new home, the county assessor probably has only the lot, not the home, assessed. So what oftentimes happens is the county tax assessor doesn't update their records for 12 months. So that first year, you're paying very, very low taxes because remember, it's just the lot. The county doesn't know the house is there yet. So now the county comes back in year 2 and they assess the property for $400,000 and wow, your taxes just went through the roof year 2. This is probably the most important thing. If you don't get anything else out of this video, this is the most important one. When you buy that new construction home, whether you buy off a builder's inventory or you build from the ground up, make sure to ask the lender who sets up your escrow account if you're going to set up with the value with the home for the tax escrow or just the lot until the county updates. If you don't, you might just get massive sticker shock. Now, it's not going to be the same with the resale because the home was already there. And you can go to the Galveston Central Appraisal District and see the value and all the exemptions on the home. So in a new construction build or in a new construction inventoried home, oftentimes that first year, you're only getting taxed on the value of the land or the lot. So let's just say the assessed value on the lot is $40,000. Now, you know you paid $450,000 for that house. So you're high-fiving each other, woohoo! It won't seem so awesome that second year because now they're taxing it based on the improved value and the land, not just the land. This is an important piece. So when you talk to the mortgage lender that's connected to the builder, make sure to ask them, please, we want to set up the escrow account based on the projected assessed taxable value, not just the land value for that property, to avoid that sticker shock year 2. I promise you it will ruin your holidays when you get that letter from the lender when it comes time to pay those property taxes at the end of the year and they're asking you for $10,000 or $15,000 to make up the shortage. It's an easier hit to spread it out over 12 months, pay it out monthly rather than trying to come up with $10,000 or $15,000, $16,000 at the end of the year on short notice. You want the lender to use the projected assessed value, not just the value of the land. Now, you can fight your property taxes, and there are ways to do it. You can hire someone to do it, or you can do it yourself. Now, the first year, it's always the easiest. You can go into the county assessor and say, look, here's what we paid. Show them proof, maybe your settlement statement. To be honest, year 2, it's not going to be as easy, and that's when I recommend a company. Reach out to me and I'm happy to provide a referral for the company that we use on our properties. Now, what happens if the county value is less than the purchase price? Now, this is just between me, you, and, well, whoever else is watching. If your value is assessed less than what you paid for it, I'm going to be really honest, honey. Shut your mouth. Just stop talking. So if the county says your house is worth $355, but you paid $425 or $450, don't go tell them. Just nod, smile, pay your taxes, and move on. So that's a hidden cost, and if you don't realize it, you're going to spend a lot of money. And like death, property taxes, well, there's just no way around it. What I want you to do is just have that built up in your expected budgeting for your new home, that assessed value. Number 2, HOA fees. The second hidden cost that most likely comes in a new construction and sometimes in resale is your HOA. Developers more often than not are building with an HOA. The developers are really finding that people want amenities, especially after COVID. We want amenities. One of my favorite subdivisions in Galveston County is Lagomar. Now, Lagomar's been named the best neighborhood in the Houston area, and it's no wonder, really. It's a wonderful community. The entry is beautiful with palm trees, and the landscape is always being refreshed and trimmed. Well, everything is bigger in Texas, so you've got to see this lagoon at Lagomar. It has a beach entry. You can rent water toys. It has a restaurant. They've got ample parking. They have summer concert series and festivals and a coffee shop. This community has hike and bike trails, golf cart paths, splash pads, and playgrounds. Well, all of those amenities are totally awesome. But how does Lagomar have all of these amenities? Well, the residents pay annually in their HOA dues for the maintenance and upkeep. Your HOA dues can also be paid as part of your escrow account. Now, sometimes these HOA dues are totally paid separately, maybe monthly or quarterly or semi-annually or even annually. You may have to pay the HOA also. I just don't know, every HOA is going to fluctuate depending on the amenities for that amount. That dollar amount's really going to depend on the community that you move in and the amenities that they offer. So be sure you know that before you choose to build or buy in that neighborhood, how much are those amenities going to cost you, because you have to pay for it regardless. And I've had buyers tell me, yeah, we're not going to use the pool. We don't really go out in the sun, so we're just not going to pay that. Y'all, when you buy into a community, you buy into its rules. You buy the house, you play by the HOA's rules. Now, I got to tell you, if you don't pay your dues, they can fine you, they can put a lien on your house, and eventually, if you continue to ignore the HOA, they can foreclose on your house. Please be aware of an HOA and its fees before you purchase. Number 3. Now, this is a unique one. So this hidden cost in construction is the maintenance cost. Now, I want to give a little bit of a caveat here. Obviously, maintenance cost on a new construction home might be a little different than the maintenance cost on a resale home. So on a new construction home, you're more than likely going to get some sort of warranty from the builder. Usually it's like a 1-year cosmetics, workmanship, 2 years on anything system-wise, and 6 to 10 years on your structure. You're going to get these warranties that cover anything major that might come up. You're also going to get the manufacturer's warranty of things like your air handler, your dishwasher, and any sort of appliance that's been installed, your oven or your microwave. So if something major does come up, you have that warranty to fall back on. But what I'm talking about is less about major things, which is a benefit of buying new construction, and more just about general ongoing homeowner maintenance, right? If this is your first time owning a home, you can't call the landlord and say, hey, my toilet's broken. You're that person. Remember, you aren't just paying the mortgage, you're the owner. You're responsible for the maintenance. You're responsible for the upkeep, and you're responsible for protecting the asset, which means changing your air filters, having your hot water heater drained and flushed out, maybe lubricating your garage doors, getting your home ready for winter or summer. You also want to mow the yard and maintain the trees and the flower beds and keep them weeded. And if you live within an HOA, you want to make sure you budget for lawn maintenance. I'm telling you, I sold a home to a sweet young couple about 15 years ago in Clear Lake, and she was so excited to own the home. The lawn was the most beautiful in the community. The owners loved the yard. The flowers were blooming. Trees were gorgeous. Palm trees around the pool. It was an oasis. I gotta tell you, she was so proud, but what she really wasn't expecting is what happened about 120 days later. She called me and she was so upset. Miss Sherry, we have a problem. We need to talk to the seller. Everything's dying. The grass is dead. The flowers are dead. The trees, they're all leaning over. They look almost as bad. I explained to her again that sprinkler system was set to go off 3 times a week, and that should be enough to keep that yard beautiful. Was it not working? Oh no, she says. We turned it off. We didn't want to waste any water. We thought the rain was plenty for the yard. I gotta tell you, that was one expensive lesson. I want you to remember you're the homeowner now. You have to maintain the house. Of course, you've got your warranty for anything major that's going to be really helpful to have. Now, another thing that my buyers like on new construction is you are literally buying a canvas. You're not buying somebody else's problem. So on the resale side, you don't know what you're going to find in terms of maintenance. You do your inspections, but everything has a starting point to break. We just don't know when that is. I can tell you generally when something breaks at my house, it's usually when I'm about to have a party or company arrive. It seems like it anyway. So on the cosmetic side, you can change the paint, you can add drawer pulls and hardware and fixtures and switch out the carpet or the tile. Make that canvas your own, but you also are going to have the responsibility and the obligation to maintain it as it is your own property. It's your asset. There's not a landlord to call anymore, and those kind of things can really add up. Now, a good number to use might be a 0.5% to 1.5% of the purchase price of your home, and that's just maintenance. If you start adding things up, like lawn maintenance, seasonal flowers, weed control, air filters, all of those things that just kind of go into the normal wear and tear and maintenance of your home, it probably is going to be about 1% a year. So you need to make sure that you're ready for that when you're making this big purchase, and it's not just a place that, you're paying the mortgage every single month. Number 4, now this is my bonus, unexpected hidden cost in new construction and just really homes in general, is homeowners insurance. Now, we live on the Gulf Coast. Your lender may require wind and flood or just wind or not at all, depending on the location of your home, type and age of construction. Now, people are very surprised at how expensive homeowners insurance can be, especially here on the Gulf Coast. We've seen rates kind of go up a little bit because, we've had a few storms over the last couple of years. Now, your homeowner's insurance policy is going to renew every year, and I got to be honest with you, it's probably not going to go down. So you really need to be aware that you will pay insurance for as long as you have a mortgage. If you pay cash for your home, you don't have to have insurance, but I got to be honest with you, I am not going to own a $400,000 or $450,000 asset and not insure it, period. It's just too risky. Also, if you don't have it, it's not like you're just going to get away with it. The lender will buy it for you, and then they're going to charge you a premium for it. Oftentimes, you can bundle your car and your home and your boat insurance all together for a better rate. Check with your local insurance agent, or if you need a referral for a Gulf Coast specialist, reach out to me. I just don't want you to be surprised by these hidden costs. All of these things are going to add up, but the benefits on buying the new construction home, the biggest one for my buyers is energy bills are out of sight. So it's important to have an energy efficient home, especially in our subtropical weather. If you're in an older home without great windows or insulation, you know what I'm talking about, those energy bills. Now, new construction, most of them are energy efficient, and it's going to be a big deal. You are going to save on your power bill, which is a huge deal in Texas. So I'm sure there are probably more hidden costs that I've missed, but if you have any questions, I'd love for you to leave them down in the comments or give me a call. If you need help buying a new construction home here in Galveston County, reach out. I hope you enjoyed this video episode, and we hope you'll subscribe and join our video community. Thanks so much for watching and commenting. We love hearing from you, and we'll see you on the next one.